Hello everyone and welcome to this audio podcast. This audio podcast is part of a laboratory inquiry. This audio podcast is part of a Helm and BackRow. This audio podcast as part of a Helm and Rudder. This audio podcast as part of a Storm Robotics production. In this audio podcast, as part of peer review and published works from 2023. Now looking at sort of the overview in regard to the themes from the themes and in regard to the sort of the data in regard to CKD, chronic kidney disease, and healthcare service users. So understanding in regard to one of the main themes, understanding of CKD or chronic kidney disease and perception of kidney healthcare. So people do not know or mistaken for other diseases, other conditions. Fluid overload is a problem, and it is because of the heart, and again because the heart needs to work. I've seen it for myself. A lot of people don't understand why. Mentioning kidney failure is not a good idea, because the patient or healthcare service user might not be aware that they are looking for and some um, might not be aware of what they are looking for. And some healthcare service users or patients will feel will feel there is a certain way they feel, and a certain way they feel, and they will take it as a norm. Informs one healthcare service user. So the patient in around the ICA around this, the patient or healthcare service user informs what CKD as and why fluid retention occurs. The healthcare service user talks about how healthcare professionals should communicate with healthcare service users around CKD, and how healthcare service users may not understand certain medical terms. Context highlights the importance and presence of condition. In regard to another theme looking at appropriate educational support. So they haven't necessarily got the time. So where this healthcare service user sort of refers to healthcare professionals. So they haven't necessarily got the time to be so one-on-one with your care. So it's a lot more just like, here's what you need to know, so go and look it up yourself, kind of thing. If there was a level of they if there sorry if there was a level of they give us like booklets. They talk to so this healthcare healthcare service user informs in this peer-reviewed published works, informs that they talk to my mother or my mum and dad, and explain to them what they could do, what they could do to help, and all that jazz. Informs one healthcare service user in around the ICA around this. The CKD healthcare service users or healthcare service users suggest a need for healthcare professionals, for example, healthcare professionals, and the CKD healthcare service user does not give details of which type of healthcare professional to provide CKD healthcare service users or patients with more targeted education to manage health. Understanding also reveals a need for healthcare professionals to provide patients or CKD healthcare service users or healthcare service users with a range of educational support across healthcare conditions and sectors. So now, in regard to another theme, looking at perception of healthcare professionals. So I don't think I should go to my GP or general practitioner for checkups. That's the reason I've got a consultant. But in my case, my GP or general practitioner is excellent. Again, it's another person I can just look. I can book an appointment, with and say actually I'm a bit unsure about this, or I'm struggling a little bit with well-being, or I've got a little concern about my transplant, and 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 she'll that where this healthcare service user in this peer review and published works refers to their general practitioner, general practitioner, um, uh, to to talk about a sort of a concern. It just so happens that I've had the I've had the same general practitioner since 1995. Since 1995, so she's got the knowledge. She's got the knowledge. It is my big fear about moving away from so where this healthcare service user is moving away from one part of the United Kingdom, and what I'm going and what I am going to do about my GP, general practitioner. But there you go. But there you go. Especially as I've got as I've got sort of well-being issues where this where this where this healthcare service user in this peer-reviewed published works informs, and so and they say, and go on to say and go on to inform that. So I think the GP or general practitioner plays an important role. So in regard to the ICA around this, it is important to understand multi morbidities, including sort of well-being, and where general practitioners should work together with healthcare service users and allied healthcare professionals, or AHPs. Literature informs patient or CKD healthcare service user perception and need for specialist knowledge to manage CKD, chronic kidney disease, and and where it can differ across regions. So now looking at another theme regarding digital technology. So I think the patients should receive the information they want in whichever way they're comfortable to receive it. So for some of the older patients, they may not be as comfortable with modern tech, and they they might they might prefer a phone call, or a face-to-face appointment, or a letter. For other people who are a bit more up to date with tech, a bit more up to date with tech or technology, they may like to go on to have a look at results on a website and say, oh, I can see that I'm not happy with this result. I better make a phone call. So I think that patients or healthcare service users, reassurance must be paramount. So in around the ICA around this, so a patient highlights here, or healthcare service user informs a need to receive health education in a range of ways of where appropriate, and through face to face and verbal communication, and via digital platforms online, or by phone, or leaflet, for example. I see the healthcare service user also highlights the importance of being able to receive test results online and through websites such as um, such as electronic patient records. And it is important that healthcare service users are reassured about about their kidney care, about their kidney care. Now, in regard to another theme, now, looking at education through technology and digital healthcare. So I think patient view. A patient view, as perhaps mentioned in this audio podcast as part of the intro, looking at patient view being an electronic patient record, an EPR, and where this healthcare service user informs. In regard to the theme around education through technology and digital healthcare, I think that patient view has made a massive improvement, and a bit of an odd one. I think social media. Now, I hold those two on equal level. Something that's more accessible to healthcare service users in terms of technology. Patient view is more, it is more supportive, because it gives you an immediate window into your health, how your renal function is doing, how your blood pressure, how your various levels of your bloods are. What could it and what to and sort of what to improve. It is there, but again, it's going back to this thing of learning how to use it. So you can go into a particular blood result, for example, and go into your iron result of your blood, and then you can and then you can click on that link, and it will tell you these are the norms on where this healthcare service user in this peer reviewed and published works, informs of, when clicking into the iron tab, there is a sort of a caption that opens up and informs of the laboratory reference ranges, and sort of where the caption that opens up uh, informs of the reference range, but also wherein the actual result, that's the actual blood result in around the iron level that a patient or a healthcare service user has, sort of whether it lies in between that sort of reference range. So in around the sort of in around the ICA around this. So so patient view in around the EPR has improved self management of CKD, and social media has its place. Technology is integrated into everyday lives. Access to social media also offers offers healthcare service users access to peer support. However, it must not be presumed that all a long-term condition patients or healthcare service users can interact with aspects of of technology, online spaces, or healthcare. Primary care networks also offer a solution wherein multiple healthcare professionals could be involved to support healthcare educational needs. E-learning or modules can offer a solution for educational support, and this could lead to with higher levels of literacy, and educational and educational sort of support for those for example, want to know more about their laboratory investigations. Now, in regard to the theme around healthcare communication, so I just asked a nurse in dialysis, but to be quite honest, I think the nurse reluctant. That's my experience. When you get that's my experience, and when you get results, they seem a bit, oh, they don't want to be sort of running around. The problem is, when I was in another unit, I had a good nurse, because what she would do is, oh, your results are good, are good, and that is, she'll just tell me the results are good, informs one healthcare one 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 patient, a healthcare service user. uh, a second Another healthcare service user informs, if you have reassurances from healthcare professionals, and you always have, and you always have access to them, or you're a bit or you're in doubt, that education would prepare somebody, would prepare somebody, because you're better prepared, you're better prepared, um, because you have more information, informs another healthcare service user. Now, in relating to the sort of the ICA around this, understanding here reveals the importance of being educated before and following contact with healthcare professionals. Access to health education can prepare a healthcare service user or patient, and encouraging shared decision making. In regard to the theme around influences on willingness to take ownership of health, the around this theme, I think patient view, the electronic patient record, has made a massive improvement, and and uh, and again, where a healthcare service user informs. I think social media, where they thought about social media as well. Now, at the same time, I could not. This healthcare service user informs, I could not pick a favorite. So I'll tell you why. In terms of patient view, I can access my blood test, and I do every time I have a checkup. A couple of days after my checkup, I go through my blood test and make sure that I'm happy with everything. Informs a healthcare service user. In around the ICA around this, it is important to have links between patient accessing test results digitally following medical appointments. Patient view, for example, is secondary care specific. Patient did not a healthcare service user, as part of this particular theme, did not indicate whether access to healthcare records should be between primary or secondary care, or healthcare sector specific. By encouraging education across health disciplines, this would reduce this would reduce reduce inequity, increase influence on taking ownership, and improve overall healthcare in and amongst the CKD population. That draws this audio podcast to a close. This audio podcast as part of a laboratory inquiry. This audio podcast as part of a Helm and BackRow. This audio podcast as part of a Helm and Rudder. This audio podcast as part of a Storm Lobostics production.